Welcome to my views and news. Breaking news from the Amhara region of Ethiopia, where Yilkal Amhara region's president has announced a mechanism for start of talks with the Fano factions who will be representing the governments. When will talk starts? How long talks will take to complete? And will the talks be held between government and Fano, or others will be involved? Will there be involvement of federal government too? We have details of the announcement by Amhara regional president, and secondly, we'll have a look at the likely demands which Fano fighters could share at the talks. That's my understanding. I have compiled a list which I think contains the lists of Fano's demands. Secondly, Tigray archbishops elected 10 bishops this week. The Orthodox Church, main church, rejected this election of bishops by the Tigray clergy. Now the bishops are being ordained. A ceremony is being held in Aksum. Tigray Orthodox Church is pressing ahead with its divorce from the main church. Firstly, viewers, 3-day long session of Amhara Regional Council has ended. An eventful session, budget approved, key questions raised. We saw criticism of Amhara regional government and federal government at the session. Fiery speeches delivered by some members of parliament. North Gondar zone administrator shared details of Ethiopian federal government's plans about the determination of future status of Raya and Volkayat. He spoke about the return of IDPs to read a video this morning. You can watch the video on this channel. This morning I put out a video about North Gondar zone administrator's speech at the parliament, Amhara regional parliament. Then a video about Johannes Buyalio's speech, who said that Amharas were being marginalized. He called for negotiations with Fano fighters. So a very eventful session of the Amhara regional council. Yilkal's government weak, under pressure. It submitted a proposal to remove 5 judges, 4 judges. Only one could be, removal of only one could be approved. Yilkal government under pressure, partly because of the ongoing operation against Fano, and mainly because of Fano's attacks. Fano has shown its capabilities, that it is in a position to destabilize the Amhara region. I think Birhanu Jula, when he spoke in Jema, he said region was paralyzed, if I remember correctly. So it's an admission from the top military man in Ethiopia that Fano has managed to paralyze the Amhara region. That is what I was predicting a few weeks ago, but I was being accused of supporting Fano. But you see, this is just the start, by the way. This is start of this insurgency movement. Long way to go if there is no dialogue. Now, Amhara President Yilkal, offered talks to Fano yesterday. And today he announced the modalities. Who will represent the government? What will Fano do? Will it respond positively? We'll analyze later. But Amhara president says that 5 MPs from each zone of the Amhara region will be selected for talks. Since Fano factions are based in zones, they are mostly operational, organized on zonal level, like Wallo Fano, North Wallo Fano, South Wallo Fano, East Gojam Fano, West Gojam, North Gondar, South Gondar. That is why a regional government has announced to select members of parliament of the Amhara Regional Council from these zones. From one zone, 5 members of a parliament of Amhara Regional Council will represent the Amhara regional government. They'll engage the Fano fighters, but not alone. They'll be accompanied by religious leaders, scholars, notables, influential people of the area. For example, if talks are to start between North Shore Zone, Fano and Amhara government will select 5 members of parliament of Amhara Regional Council from North Shore. Those MPs will be supported by Orthodox Church leaders of North Shore Zone, some notables too, and scholars. So this is the mechanism announced. The process of talks will be completed within 10 days, and then details will be shared with the government, obviously, Amhara regional government, and then regional government will decide what to do. Now, we are waiting for the response from Fano fighters. I think they'll respond, though how will they respond, individually or someone on their behalf on central level? Because yesterday we heard that there could be appointment of some spokesperson of Fano fighters for Ethiopia. Fano, Amhara Popular Front already appointed its foreign relations in charge, David Georgius, based in the US, visiting Europe too. But Fano intends to appoint a spokesperson for Ethiopia too, reportedly. Waiting for Fano response. Now, how will dialogue be conducted on local level, city level, zonal level? Are Fano's demands of local level? I mean, is Gondar Fano only fighting for issues which are related to the people of Gondar, which are within Gondar issues? No. Fano's demands are not local demands. Let's have a look, just a cursory look at Fano's demands, which could be Fano's demands, I think. I think at talks, these points could be part of Fano's list of demands. They'll ask clarity about the future status of Volkayat and Raya, because we know that at the Amhara Regional Council session, North Gondar's administrator said that federal government had decided to bring back IDPs to Volkayat, and that new administrators will be elected, referendum will be held, and federal forces have intimated the zonal government about its plan. Fano fighters, Fano factions, they'll definitely demand clarification. How will the issue of Volkayat Raya be resolved? They want Raya Volkayat to be part of Amhara. First demand. Secondly, Velega. People dying there. Amharas killed there last year too. Some Oromos too, but Amharas as well. So they want protection for Amharas living in Velega. Disbandment of special forces. Fano against disbandment of special forces. Special force members have joined Fano fighters. They would want special forces to continue. Release of prisoners. Thousands of people arrested since last year when federal regional governments launched an operation against regional government of Amhara, launched operation against Fano. Fano fighters, supporters, intellectuals, scholars, journalists, activists in prisons, not just in Amhara, out of Amhara too, in Afar. I did a video a few days ago about the imprisonment of Amhara Fano fighters in Afar. They were taken from Amhara to Afar. So release of prisoners could be another point, another demand of Fano fighters. Then Fano would definitely ensure that its structure remains intact. It wouldn't lay down arms. It won't agree to laying down of arms. It would seek assurances, guarantees. Question is, these are not local level issues. It means 5 MPs of the Amhara Regional Council of North Shore Zone and Fano fighters, if they sit, they cannot resolve these issues. These are regional level, national level issues. It means that through these talks, Fano fighters' demands can be collected and sent to the regional government. And regional government then can share these demands with the federal government. Regional government cannot make decisions about all these issues on its own. It needs involvement of Tigray, involvement of Oromia, involvement of Ethiopian National Defense Force, involvement of Ethiopian Intelligence Agency, involvement of Ethiopian federal government. Amhara government cannot resolve these issues on its own. Though government today said that let's resolve our issues on our own, ourselves. Let's resolve our issues ourselves. No, these issues cannot be resolved by talks between Fano fighters and 5 members of parliament from each region. I don't think so. But we're waiting for official statement from Fano fighters. Will Fano agree to this arrangement? Will Fano agree to talks? First question is. Then next question is, which type of talks? Does it want to hold talks with the Amhara government? Or does it want other players to be involved too? Local players, regional players, federal level players, Afghan players, international players. It's not so easy that just a few members of parliament can start talks. I think still Amhara regional government is failing to realize the gravity of the situation, or you can say that regional government is playing it smart. It knows that Fano's demands are of national level, but it wants to hold talks that it will use the demands put forward by Fano fighters to put pressure upon Ethiopian federal government. The federal government should be involved in talks. Let's see. So far, at least, the regional government has agreed to hold talks with Fano fighters after seeing that Fano fighters are destabilizing the Amhara region, paralyzing the Amhara region. Secondly, viewers, Tigray, no signs of rapprochement between Tigray Orthodox Church and the main church. This week, Tigray elected 10 bishops, 5 to local dioceses and 5 to foreign dioceses. The election was rejected by the main church. The bishops are going to be ordained today in Aksum, where the ceremony of election was held. Another ceremony is going to be held today, where the 10 bishops are going to be appointed. Their place of appointment is going to be announced. Reportedly, 5 who are going to be appointed to local dioceses are going to be appointed to West Tigray Diocese, South Tigray Diocese, Southeast Tigray Diocese, and a spiritual college, etc. And 5 to foreign dioceses. It means that Tigray is not stepping back, it is continuing with its split from the main church. Abun Abraham, the church general manager, 2 days ago accused Tigray archbishops that Tigray archbishops remained silent before the start of war, but the main church tried to stop the war. It tried to mediate as well. That is why all parties are to blame if war happened in Tigray and people died. But Tigray archbishops are not ready to reconcile. Main church wants federal government, Tigray regional government, interim government to involve, to intervene in order to resolve the conflict between the church entities. So far, federal government of PMRB and interim government both are silent. They are not showing any response, positive response to the call by the church to intervene. Thank you for watching.